still chasing fire through the years half slow. Weights on my back, sweat in my eyes. Old man's fight never says die. Old man on the mat, still standing tall. One more round, yeah, I've heard it all. Grip the edge, don't let it slip. Strength in the soul, strength in the grip.
Hey, Old Man on the Mat crew, this is Tony Jones coming up to another great episode of Old Man on the Mat. Guys, today we have a great guy on this on the podcast today. And normally I have a long intro about all the stuff we're thankful for. And yes, I appreciate you guys on everything. But the guy I have you here today, let me tell you a couple of things that he's accomplished. After 50. He's a nutrition and fitness geek, as he says it. He's completed 15 Ironman triathlons, and that's after the age of 50. Hey, with that, I'll give you Michael Lantz. Thanks, Mike, for coming on. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Let's get it on, dude.
Awesome.
Us old guys rock.
That's right, man. I always tell everybody the old man and where it's at, man. People ask me my age. I honestly, if I have to be honest, I say I don't know it by a year because I never say my age. Where do you live
Just
now?
a
You're in
number.
California?
No, I was born and raised right here in Lost Wages, Nevada.
Las Vegas, Nevada. I like it.
we need you to come and leave Nevada green for all of you listeners.
There you go, man. There you go. I said last time I've been to Las Vegas area, that was about 2 years ago. I was at a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competition out there, and they always ask me, "How'd you do in the world's competition?" Just remember, I had a great time gambling. That's all I can tell you.
It's life.
Oh man,
It's an experience.
it is an experience. But Michael, I'm looking at some of the things you've done here. You know, you're a former CPA. I touched a little bit on your triathlete. Ironman. That's not a regular. Running around the track for 15 laps and you're done, right?
Right.
Man,
140.6 miles, 2.4 mile swim,
holy
112-mile bike, and then you run a marathon.
What?
26.2 miles, and you have to finish within 17 hours.
Are you kidding me? All that.
All that.
Ugh.
So it's one of the hardest endurance events in the world,
Yeah.
and there's it's like there's a small percentage of the world population that's ever finished one, and there's even a microscopic that their first triathlon was an Ironman, and that's what mine was.
Wait, so you didn't do anything else before then? That was your first one?
That was my first foray into being an endurance athlete was an Ironman.
Wow.
And I fell in complete love with the sport. It's like turned my life around in a lot of ways.
Wow, my gosh. Now, getting prepared for that. Wait, let me back up. How did all that start with you? What motivated you to start all this stuff?
Oh man. Well, it's really a good question, and I mean we all need motive, right?
Yeah.
To do anything. We all need purpose in life,
Right.
And I suppose I've always been somebody that if they told me I couldn't do it, I would do it.
Okay.
I mean, that kind of a spirit. All in my athletic career, I mostly played basketball. Actually was a practice player for Jerry Tarkanian's first Final Four team at UNLV.
Oh,
1977. We lost to Dean Smith's North Carolina Tar Heels. And we led the nation in scoring that year without a three-point line or shot clock. We averaged like 112, 13 points a game.
Holy average?
And they did a Dean Smith pulled out with Phil Ford as All-American point guard, a four-corner stall.
Wow.
So I have always been like an athlete, and I've won at like every bit of the way, and I've always had that like, no way, you're not gonna beat me.
Yeah.
And so always the Ironman, as I watched it on NBC TV.
Yeah.
Even before, I mean, even when I was a 254-pound whale, I was called a whale in front of a bunch of people, and that's kind of what spurred me to lose, weight and start the health journey.
Wow.
But all before that, I was so fascinated with the Hawaii Ironman.
Really?
Because that's what NBC television always did. And when I tried a whole bunch of diets. I was a food addict.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I had to go through a 12-step and psychological counseling to overcome my food addiction.
Wow.
Mainly sugar. My wife, when she'd go grocery shopping, and I have 4 boys, and she'd always buy me 1 bag of salt and vinegar chips per day. So she would buy me 7 bags of chips, and I'd eat a whole bag at night.
Wow.
One Christmas, I think it was the year before, I said, I got to do something. I love hot tamale candies, those little, red.
Oh yeah, I know what they are,
things.
little red hots.
And so my wife and kids got me this 5-pound bag of hot tamale candies for Christmas. And I had ate the entire bag before New Year's.
Wow.
And I used to hide and share, and I used to always wear these suits and cover my big belly.
Yeah.
And my dad had died a couple of years before that of cancer. He was a smoker his whole life, but he was obese.
Yeah.
My dad was a good high school wrestler. You talk about being on the mat, and was in the Navy, and then he became a construction worker, and Dad ate like crud.
Wow.
He had a sugar addiction. When I went through my own recovery, I discovered my dad was also an alcoholic.
Oh,
And
wow.
I never really thought of him as an alcoholic. I didn't know what that was, but he definitely was. And he smoked.
Okay.
And he contracted lung cancer and decided to die at home. And it was a hot June day in Vegas, 100 plus degrees.
Yeah.
And my brother and sister, my mom were over at the house. I came to relieve my wife. She spent all night with him, and you could tell he was going to die. Just that labored breathing, and so everyone went outside, and I just held my dad in my arm.
Yeah.
And he took his last breath.
Wow.
And it was just a couple of weeks before that. We had this conversation. He and I weren't close at all. I mentioned before we got on. I mean, my dad was totally like shame bound.
Yeah.
And he was a staunch racist. And everything was about him, and by God, that kind of a guy.
Yeah.
And so he and I had like reconciled a lot as he was on his deathbed those months before he passed.
Yeah.
And he shared with me, Tony, a couple of things that I don't think at the time really resonated, but as I considered it later, it really had a bearing on me. And he expressed 2 things. Number one, he expressed regret for never having been able to do the things he wanted.
Okay.
And I asked him some of the stuff, what did you want to do? And he told me, I go, you never shared that.
Wow.
Like he wanted to go fishing in Argentina of all places.
Oh, wow.
And he was concerned about my boys, which he never expressed that.
Wow.
And so, and he had kind of like the victim mentality. He was mad at cigarette companies for killing him, and which probably there was some truth to that.
Yeah.
Obviously, he smoked those unfiltered Camels for years.
Yeah.
So after he had passed, I tried a whole bunch of diets because I knew I needed to do some. I mean, sitting as a CPA, I used to play golf and walk all the time. I'd quit playing sports.
Yeah.
Basketball, when you're that heavy, your knees hurt, your back hurts. I didn't want to play anymore.
Yeah.
I just ached and hurt afterwards.
Yeah.
So I tried, a few diets that miserably failed. The famous eat less, move more diet, that failed. I tried the Atkins diet. I tried this Master Clean. Everything I tried, I didn't have enough willpower to fight through the cravings.
Okay.
And I had a client in the CPA firm. He was a veterinarian, a successful one, had sold his practice here in Vegas and built one in Boulder, Colorado. And he was coming back into town. So I always did his tax work even after he moved. And Dr. Roger Maurer is his name. If he's a listener to your podcast, I hope he hears this conversation. So Doc Maurer, thing I loved about him was you just always knew where you stood. He wasn't afraid to let loose the truth.
Yeah.
And so we decided to meet at a Chinese restaurant, P.F. Chang's in Vegas. And I go in the foyer, and we hadn't seen each other for 4, 5, 6 years, something like that. And I walk in, and the first thing he says to me, Tony, "My God, Mike, you look like a whale."
Oh my
in front of all these
goodness.
people.
Wow.
And oh yeah, I laughed about it, but I went back to my office that day, shut and locked my door, and said, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah.
So it was, that thing weighed on me, and that's when I had a close friend whose son and my youngest son played baseball together, and she had gotten turned on to this like weight loss system.
Okay.
And so she listened to me, and I said, "Okay, I'm gonna do this." Now, mind you, prior to going on this system, which I remember the day, February 6, 2006. So for Christmas of 2005, my wife and I bought a gym membership, and I was going to the gym and working out.
Yeah.
And in the 2 months, or month of January, before February 6th, I think I dropped like 4 pounds.
Okay.
I was just doing the sweat diet.
Yeah,
I was going to go work out.
Yeah.
And then this client of mine turned me on to this product where over the next 2 months, I lost 50 pounds.
What?
And it completely, that's the network marketing gig,
Yeah.
I got involved in. And it just like, I got my life back.
Yeah.
It was like, wow. I didn't know about food. I didn't know any of that stuff. All I knew is that this worked, and I felt wonderful.
Yeah.
And it was so prior to July 4th, 2006. So what's that, like 5 months since I'd started? I had during that time, I'm an avid reader, and I picked up this book called Becoming an Ironman.
Okay.
And this woman wrote this book. Each chapter was a story of an average person that had completed this 140.6 race.
Yeah.
And it's like spoke to me. There was this guy story in there, and I go, "Oh my gosh." And so I started to look into Ironman.
Yeah.
And so I go to my friend who had done 2 Ironmans. He was in my congregation at church. Yeah. And I asked Brent Phillips, he's deceased now. He died of dementia or Alzheimer's during COVID.
Oh, wow.
Just broke my heart.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Yeah.
Didn't have a funeral for like one of my best buddies.
Oh, man.
And I go to Brent and I said, "Brent, do you think I can do an Ironman?" And his answer, Tony, was perfect. He said, "Doesn't matter what I think. Do you think you can do one?"
Okay.
And I go, "Yeah." And so I go online, and Ironman Arizona, which was being raced on April 15th, 2007. So April 15th, as a tax guy, was a big day because I never got it off.
Oh, yeah.
I was always working my tail off on that day to finish up tax returns and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I hit that submit button, and now I had July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. So I had like 7, 8, 9 months to plan. I didn't even know how to ride a bike.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know how to swim.
Wow. You didn't know how to swim either?
No,
wow.
I had a friend of mine gave me this book, and it took me like 3 weeks of going to my gym's pool. It's, a little 4-foot lap pool,
Yeah.
and so I could stand in it. And I did these drills for 4 weeks or 3 weeks. And finally one day, Tony, I said, okay, I'm just going to push off the wall. And I'm swimming, dude.
Oh, man. That's awesome.
So
I love that. I love
so
it.
come April 15th, 2007, scared to death. I go down to Arizona. It's forecasted to be hot and windy. And I remember being so scared at that, your heart's beating, and because you just don't know, you never done it.
Yeah.
Perhaps if you're like a wrestler and it's like going to your first meet.
Yeah.
And you're like scared to death, and you see your opponent and you go, oh my gosh, that kid is huge. He's going to kick my ass.
Right.
Yeah. And so I had this kid that sit next to me early that morning, because you get there like at 4:30, 5 a.m. and get your bike all set up, all that crap, and then you just wait.
Yeah.
And he kind of settled me down because he did that race the year before. And I like to share this one last story about that Ironman in particular, because it kind of just it leads into life in a lot of ways. So and it's a mass start Ironman.
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore. So there's 3,500 athletes that line up behind a line, and the gun goes off and you all start together.
Oh, man.
They don't do that because it is extremely stressful.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think maybe my last 2 or 3 Ironmans, we didn't have that. The Hawaii Ironman, the last one I did in 2015, I haven't raced for 10 years.
Yeah.
There was a mass start, but it wasn't very many people.
Okay.
So it was relatively easy. And all the athletes, when you're in the water, you're kind of seeding yourself as to what time you're going to finish.
Yeah.
And the gun goes off, and I remember swimming. It was like I'm swimming in a washing machine. There's people, there's arms flying. I got my eye poked.
Oh, man.
And Tony, I swam over the top of this little woman.
Oh, man.
It was like 200 yards of bedlam where you can't breathe, you can't get any stroke till it kind of opens up.
Oh, man.
It was just awful. And I remember getting out of the water thinking, oh my gosh, I did it. I finished this first leg. Get on the bike. It's a 19-mile out and back 3 times. So 38-mile loop.
Oh, my gosh.
So going out from Tempe, Arizona, out away from Arizona, without me knowing this, because I didn't practice this ever,
Yeah.
I'm flying. I'm looking at my heart rate going, dude, I'm going like 20 miles an hour. Heart rate slow, piece of cake. And then I turn around, whoop, wind.
Oh, hit you.
I was in a tailwind, 19 miles going out.
Oh, man.
A staunch headwind going back in for 19.
Oh, man.
And I'm 6'5". I'm like this huge windbreak.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Oh, man.
And so I finished 2 of those laps. And when I started my 3rd and final lap, I was looking at my watch and judging how long it would take.
Yeah.
And I got really confused. And I remember starting to cry, thinking, I'm not going to finish by 5:30 cutoff. And I recalculate, and I wouldn't even think about the race. I was just, so finally I got, okay, I'll finish. And I did. I finished that, and I get on the run. I didn't know how to do nutrition at all in a race. So I get out on the run, and within, I don't know, quarter of a mile, I just puked up my cookies.
Oh, man.
Because I was putting way too much in my stomach. Anyway, about 2, 3, 4 miles into that 26-mile run, I started walking. I was like, I'm hurting.
Yeah.
And I picked up 2 walkers with me.
Yeah.
This big Latino kid from LA and a smaller kid. I don't remember where he was from, but Dominique, this big Latino kid, I do remember.
Yeah.
So we walked together. And I think back then it was 3 laps, 3 like 8-mile laps
Wow.
on this course. So we walked together, finished that, and we kept walking. And this other younger kid, David was his name, he says, I think I can run now. Okay, go run.
Yeah.
So he starts running, and I'm feeding Dominique my aspirin and stuff that I brought
Yeah.
because he was in
He
pain.
was hurting.
Yeah. And I've recovered enough after like walking 10 miles that I could run again. And I turned to Dominique and I said, do you think you can make it? And he goes, yeah, I think I can. And I could tell in his eyes, he did not want me to leave.
Oh, man, yeah.
And I said, dude, I'm just going to walk with you then because we'll finish in time
Yeah.
if we just keep walking at this pace. And I go, I'm just all about a finish.
There you go.
I don't care. So we walked together, and maybe like 6 miles before the end, he's sufficiently recovered, and I went ahead and run in. I never thought I'd see him again.
Right.
So and I finished, and I have my finisher thing over here, like 15 hours and 50 minutes or something.
Man.
So the next morning was this breakfast for all the athletes. And I go to this breakfast, my wife's with me, and you're hearing the awards of the people that won and stuff, and it's over. So I'm thinking I'm just going to get in the car and, drive back to Vegas. And I hear this, Mike. And I turn, and it's Dominique.
Oh, man.
This big old kid, he comes running to me and he gives me this big ass bear hug
Oh, man.
with tears in his eyes. He said, how did you know not to leave me? And I go, he said, if you'd have left me, I would have stopped and walked in and not even kept going.
Oh, man.
But he finished.
Oh,
He
man.
finished 5 minutes before the cutoff.
Oh, that's awesome. Praise God. That's awesome.
So, that whole journey of health, the Ironman, it's like it gave me like purpose.
Yeah.
Obviously a massive amount of health.
Yeah.
And fitness. And it's like, there's a congressman in Texas, and he has this website, and I bought a shirt off of his website, and it said, do something hard on the shirt.
Yeah.
And, as I work with people, like some of the health coaches and things, used to baby people.
Yeah.
Like, no, okay. You don't want to fast and clean. Okay, we'll do it this way. Oh, you want to add some extra crud to the meals. Okay, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And, I hate exercise, Mike. Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
You don't need exercise. Well, not me now.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I just, I tell people, go balls out right when you start. Do what's hard.
I like that.
If you want to run a 5K, then run a 10K. If you want to run a marathon, do something like do an Ironman or something. It's just do something hard. I just think that is so important in life. And, the beauty is fitness coupled with competition.
Yeah.
It just gives you purpose.
Absolutely.
I had a woman. I'm rambling. I hope this is
No,
okay.
you're not
Just cut
rambling.
me off.
I'm writing nuggets down right here, man. I'm over here writing stuff down. Keep going.
Let me finish this story, and then I promise I'll shut up and you can ask me a question
This
that
is perfect, man.
your listeners probably want to hear. So I was never into sales.
Yeah.
I am now a marketing expert.
Yeah.
I've really immersed myself into that. But when I joined network marketing, like they wanted me to sell.
Yeah.
Dude, I ain't going to do it. I didn't have to do it as CPA.
Right.
I would just get referrals and new people would come in, and I had more work than I could stand. And so I was working with this woman that wanted to lose weight, and I had learned a series of questions.
Yeah.
And instead of me saying, okay, yeah, you want to lose weight? Well, you need to blah, 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 verbal vomit all over. And I said, well, tell me what's important about you to lose weight. That's the form of the question. They tell you what they want, and you say, what's important about losing weight to you? That's the form of the question.
Yeah.
And she goes, I want to like take the pressure off my knees.
Mhm.
So the form of the next question. So what's important about you taking pressure off your knees?
Right, right.
And she says, I want to run a 5K.
Hmm.
And what's important about running a 5K to you?
Yeah.
And then I got to the nugget.
Yeah.
She said, my mother has browbeat me my whole life. She doesn't think I can do anything. And I'm going to show my mom
Wow.
I can do this.
Wow.
So it made the acquisition of my product easy.
Yeah.
Because it was like, okay, if you do this, you'll show your mom you could do this.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that was 10 years ago or so.
Yeah.
That woman, she ended up losing over 100 pounds.
Wow.
Tony, she has run 52 marathons.
What?
Yeah. So,
wow.
So the point of that story is, at any age, and I think she might have turned 60 now.
Wow.
She was a little younger than me.
Yeah.
52 marathons from like age 50 to 60 or whatever it was. Her mother ain't talking shit now.
You ain't
obviously.
joking, man.
So that fitness, when you get health and you have purpose through fitness,
Yeah.
it's like a game changer in life. Life's hard enough as it is, but when we purposely do hard things,
Yeah.
it is such an emotional, spiritual growth aspect.
Absolutely.
And to me, that's what God had blessed our bodies to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is the health that he gave us when we were little kids, an infant, and that spiritual drive. So that's why I think anybody, when they like join me, and some of them do just because they heard my story or something, they want to do something similar. But to me, that journey is like the best spiritual for anyone is to gain health and fitness through some sort of an event, a competition or whatever it is, hiking a mountain, do whatever.
Yeah. That's pretty good. And you're so right. Cause I think now health is the new wealth in essence. You know what I mean? Everyone wants to be healthier. At a hopeless, not just everybody should get too old and then start thinking about it, but you want everyone to think all along the way. So what is this? I won't call it magic, but this product that started this journey with you that helped you lose that weight.
Well, I didn't know if I didn't want to be self-serving, but it's Isogenics International. They're out of Chandler, Arizona. Okay. I think they've had 10 billion in, global sales. They're like a 22-year-old company. I've been involved, for a long time.
Yeah.
And so there's, nutritional things in there that help get me healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, 50 pounds in 2 months.
That's pretty good.
And there's certain, things in there, but it's also, I've learned so much about food and nutrition.
Yeah.
And I'm just amazed when I started this journey on Instagram. I bought access to marketers, and they helped me learn really how to gain followers.
Okay.
And followers end up, hopefully being a customer at some point.
Yeah.
And just this message, I've gained 211,000 followers.
Wow, that's really good.
I did a reel.
Yeah.
One of the, people resonate, I think, with the message about, I call it, choose your heart.
Okay. Choose your heart. I like that.
So I did a reel. Let me see when I posted this. June 30th.
Okay.
So July, August, so like 2 months. It's had 4.5 million views. I mean, it just went viral.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah, it is. They're not all like that. Trust
I
me.
know.
I'm really grateful when it hits.
Right.
And it's reached 3.4 million. It's had, get this, watch time, 1 year, 74 days of watch.
Oh, man.
And I have gained 12 or 13,000 followers.
Oh,
So
man, from that video.
that video.
Wow.
And I've had some other, winners like that. But, the point is, all of my winners are these choose your hard things where I'm just getting real with life.
Yeah.
And I just think people like that. Let me stop.
That's the one?
Yeah, it says you can read the words.
Yeah, you think working out is hard? Yeah. Try waking up That's true. That's right.
Maybe
You have got to send me that. You have got to send me that one. Share that video with me so I can spread it out because that is good message.
If you just go to my account on Instagram, I have it pinned.
Oh, it's pinned
at
on
the
there?
top of
Okay.
the reel.
I'm going to put in that pinned video.
But the point I want to make is, it's like, yeah, I've learned how to market and do reels, but the point is the message.
Yeah.
It's choose your heart. It's like I did one about you think it takes too long to eat like a whole food meal?
Yeah.
And then the flip the scene, it says, try waiting in a doctor's office to get your diabetes meds.
Oh, boom. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And so many like people, I just think that I know this is true.
Yeah.
And I am so grateful for RFK Jr. and some other, health people.
Oh, yeah. Coming in, doing the thing they do now. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
President Trump giving RFK the voice to do this.
Oh, yeah.
People don't know this story, but I don't mean to be political here, and I'm not supporting one or anybody here. So just if your listeners say, that guy's a MAGA guy, I'm really not.
Gotcha.
I just like stories. And anyway, the day President Trump is attempted assassination in Pennsylvania, that day Callie Means, whose sister Casey Means wrote a great book, The Means. Callie Means was a consultant to RFK Jr.'s presidential run, and he was also a consultant for Donald Trump's presidential run in the health area.
Right.
So the day President Trump is attempted assassination in Butler, Pennsylvania, Callie Means is having a conversation with RFK. Perhaps about this situation, and RFK knows that Callie is also a consultant for his potential opponent.
Okay.
And RFK and Callie starts talking, and RFK, his campaign isn't going, as well as he had wanted, and was ready to suspend it.
Right.
And Callie and them says, you know what, as I've talked to President Trump, I think if you suspend and we do this right, he would support you to be like a cabinet position.
Yeah.
And so Callie gets off the phone with RFK and he calls Donald Trump. Well, Donald Trump's in the hospital. They rush him to the hospital. And he says, hey, I just got off the phone with RFK. I think he may suspend this is the day President Trump attempted assassination. And President Trump gets off the phone and calls Bobby Kennedy.
While he's in the hospital from getting shot. Wow.
While he's in the hospital with, patching his ear up or whatnot. And they got together at Mar-a-Lago. Well, I just think, I believe, that there's no coincidences in life. It's just God's way of staying anonymous. I have a staunch belief in God and Jesus Christ.
Amen. Right there with you.
And so what we're seeing now is a revival, if you will, of what's really the cause of America's poor health.
Yeah.
And it's what goes into food, what goes into before food.
Yeah.
There's a documentary called Kiss the Ground.
Okay.
It's akin to another documentary called Common Ground, but in Kiss the Ground,
Okay.
I didn't know this at the time, that they give the history of what this German scientist pre-World War I had come up with, a chemical to spray on plants to kill bugs.
Right.
Okay, it was a pesticide.
Yeah.
And the German government said, hey, let's use that and just spray it on our enemy.
Wow.
So in World War I, you know, you saw those
With all
soldiers
the
wearing
mask,
those
yeah.
mustard. Well, part of that mustard gas was this pesticide chemical in World War I.
Wow.
So World War II, you know, breaks out, Germany again. The German government gets this same gas, and it was what was used in the death camps
Really?
of Auschwitz, you know, that killed Jews.
Yeah, the gas chambers.
Same
yeah.
thing. So the Americans liberate, you know, all of those people in those concentration camps, and they gain this gas, brought it back to the U.S., and right after the war, they gave it to farmers to start spraying it on crops.
Wow. Wow.
That was the first time in American history that crops got sprayed. So you think about like the generation pre stuff being sprayed on food.
Yeah.
They ate all whole foods. They didn't have you know, stuff in boxes and cans and stuff. You know, I've researched looking at old photos of these little, you know, grocery stores, and it's all whole foods.
Wow.
Stuff they put in can or jars, they pickled it, store it themselves.
Yeah.
So what we're seeing now is finally they're going to start, you know, removing all this crap.
Yeah.
The other thing too that I'm really passionate about, and it all leads to all Americans getting sick, and fat, and dying of cancer, and autism rates, and all that is all the, in my opinion, all the junk that's sprayed on and into
in
our food supply. Glyphosate, and here's how the government gets involved. You know, and there again, for your readers, if any of you are like pro-government, I'm not, you know, I'm not against government. Personally, I don't trust government.
Yep. I'm with you.
Especially when you hear this story.
Yeah.
So when Johnson takes over from JFK's assassination and he's running, he needed the farm vote. So he goes to Earl Butz, the agriculture secretary, said, we need to get the farmer vote. And they created subsidies for farmers.
Really?
Never had happened before.
Wow.
So farmers are basically, excuse me.
That's okay.
I've had a cold recently. So farmers are paid today, these subsidies, to grow corn.
Okay.
So 95% of the corn supply in America is GMO. It's not even real corn.
Yep.
And 95% of corn is sprayed with glyphosate, which is Roundup.
Yeah.
And the Roundup company has had to pay, it's something like $20 billion in leukemia claims.
Wow.
So who buys Roundup? Bayer, the pharmaceutical company. Well, why would a pharmaceutical company buy a chemical company that's giving people leukemia? Because Bayer has a product to help leukemia patients.
Boom. Yeah. Wow.
So that corn, that 95% of all corn, has this C4 protein that you can tell in a body.
Yeah.
And it's something like 92% of all cows have that C4 protein in them.
Really?
Because that's the primary food of a dairy cow or a cow that's non-grass fed is corn.
So it bulks them up.
And
wow.
Yeah, and those cows are also shot with growth hormones.
Wow.
Because they're like constantly milked 24/7, 365 days a year.
Yeah.
And all of that, because those corn isn't healthy, they have to put on the ground commercial fertilizer.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole thing about Kiss the Ground was about how some farmers, only 5% of the farms in America use this regeneration farming technique, where they grow cover crops on land like grasses and other things, and then they put their cash crops into the cover crop.
Okay.
So these cover crops draw rain. The soils are so healthy.
Yeah.
These farmers do not need to spray chemicals for pesticides or put commercial fertilizers. So these farmers their yield per acre is 10x a farmer getting farm subsidies.
Wow.
So the American government is killing human beings by giving farmers free money to grow corn.
Yeah.
I mean, so when I started to learn all this is what JFK and others, there's kind of some momentum being built finally.
Oh, yeah.
And so many people, like on Instagram, I get messages all the time, and, they'll see something and then they're curious. And it's like one reel I did, Tony. I went to a grocery store that's close to my home. I don't shop there very often. I shop at a Sprouts farmer's market that's a little ways away. And I basically said, I showed pictures of the inside of the store where they have the ultra processed foods, the boxes, the cans, the jars. And I went up and down and looked at how many percentage of the little things I pulled off that had a high fructose corn syrup in it. It was pickles had it in it.
Wow.
And high fructose corn syrup's in like soft drink.
Yeah.
And the danger of that is it's not metabolized, and it goes right to the liver, and it doesn't overcome your hunger. So you're still hungry after drinking a big soda. Yeah. And then I walked around the perimeter of the store where you have Whole Foods. You have a real carrot, a real apple, a real piece of meat, a real chicken wing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of, like, I'm building this course now, and I've done this with a couple of my local clients. I had a woman actually flew here from Kansas City. Mm-hmm. She was obese and she wanted to meet with me. So she flies here and I take her grocery shopping. Yeah. And that's basically what I taught her, is only eat the perimeter of the store. Don't eat anything in the interior.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
And basically is eat whole foods and then use isogenics, and which she did. She lost like 145 pounds.
Oh, man.
And she did it just by walking.
Yeah.
I think, I haven't talked to her in a couple of years, but she started to lift weights and things. Yeah. And so, our food supply has been so compromised, and you can overcome that by just eating whole food.
Yeah.
A study produced in 2025 where they went around to like all of the major fast food restaurants, 100% of them had glyphosate in their food. Yeah.
Wow.
And we were up north. My wife had her 50th class reunion, so I drove her up there. My wife suffers from Parkinson's, so I have to, I'm her caregiver. I have to, drive around a lot of places. Yeah. She's fairly independent, thank goodness.
Praise God, yeah.
But my sister-in-law, or my wife's sister-in-law, was, had corn on the cob. Yeah. You want some? I go, no. She goes, you don't eat corn on the cob? And I go,
don't touch it.
And she didn't ask me why, and I didn't tell her. I know what's in that corn. You ain't get me to put that crud in my body.
There you go.
And, and one of the things I answered on your thing, this whole motivation,
Yeah.
how do you get somebody motivated?
Yeah, that's a big thing now. Yeah.
Um, I think I promised that I was going to shut up and have
No,
you.
keep
Let me,
going. My
let
notes
me,
are
let
full over
me,
here.
let me. Um, years ago, I went through a business coaching program by Dan Sullivan, the strategic coach.
Okay.
And I heard Dan, this vibrant, he's probably in his like late 80s now, but he's still vibrant. You can still see him on YouTube and stuff. And he was talking about this little method of extending your life. In fact, it's the life extender exercise,
Okay.
which I did. And just by doing his exercise, I would live an extra 20 years.
Okay.
I can't remember all the tiers, but I remember Dan Sullivan saying that his goal was to see the year 2100.
Okay. Okay.
And that like resonated with me. So I made that a point. I made it a declaration. It's in my, I have this little Excel spreadsheet that, it's my ADHD like planner.
Yeah.
It's a huge spreadsheet.
Is that like the old, remember Franklin Covey planners? Remember those things? Oh, yeah. There you go. Exactly. I went through 2 of those in my life. Those things are great.
Yeah, I actually used a day timer from Hiram Smith, who ended up merging with Franklin Covey. So, yeah, it uses some of those, but there's like 5 different creators things in this spreadsheet.
Yeah.
But the point is, one of my life declarations is to be the healthiest 144-year-old in the world.
Wow.
Because that is the age I'll be when I'm hit 2100.
Okay. I'll speak that for you. I'll believe it for you. That's awesome. Yeah.
Well, I've actually, one of the digital marketing things I'm going to produce is you can opt in to be on my guest list.
Yeah.
And I'll send you an invitation to my 144th birthday party.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So, part of like and a lot of people, this concept that I'm going to share, it may be foreign to people.
Yeah.
Because like when I was a food addict, when I was, chunking down a bag of salt and vinegar chips or eating 5-pound bag of hot tamales.
Yeah.
Do you think I was thinking about my health
No.
in 40 years from now?
No, absolutely not.
No, I was thinking I'm pleasing these
right now.
these chops right now.
Yeah.
I'm pleasing me now.
Yeah.
I'm going to drink beer now.
Exactly.
Exactly my dad's attitude.
Yeah.
But when I made that declaration, it just completely shifted. And same with my health, my fitness.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you doing it, Mike? Because I want to see the year 2100.
Okay. Setting goals. Okay.
And so this longevity thing, it's put in my mind every time I consume any food. I have that thought in mind. If it's brand new food or if somebody gives me some, I always ask what's in it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Life expectancy now, Tony, for people that are born now is less than it was when you and I were born.
Oh, it's less? I thought it was stretching more with all the science and everything else.
No.
Wow.
No.
Really?
I mean, there's, drugs kind of extend life, but it doesn't extend quality
of life. Yeah.
But life expectancy is less now than it was earlier.
Wow.
It's going down.
It's because all the stuff we're putting in, correct?
Yeah. You just look at the obesity rates and rates of cancer.
It's huge.
And all of that stuff never existed.
Yeah.
Prior to about 1940.
Yeah.
It just went like if you look at like high fructose corn syrup, there's a doctor, Listig. I might be pronouncing that wrong.
Okay.
Just go high fructose corn syrup, University California Davis.
Okay.
It's been watched like 40 million
Oh, wow.
times. It's a hot YouTube. Yeah, it's huge. And he talks about high fructose corn syrup, and you just look at the statistics of obesity, cancer, heart deaths,
Wow.
high fructose corn syrup.
All of it. Wow.
It's very correlated.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. And do you think the manufacturers of high fructose corn syrup care?
No, absolutely
They just
not.
want you to drink
Yeah,
it.
money, money, money.
A drug company, it doesn't theoretically, it has no financial incentive to cure you.
Right. Right.
Because you're no longer a customer.
Exactly. They want to draw it out as long as they can, take you for everything.
Well, they want to mask the problem. It's
Yeah.
like, with diabetes, the GLP-1,
Yeah.
and all of these things are. And so I'm pretty simple.
Yeah.
I tell people prioritize protein. That's first
Yeah.
key. 4 to 6 servings of protein per day
Okay.
because it boosts metabolism,
Gotcha.
makes you not hungry. Americans generally don't eat enough protein.
True.
And eat high quality protein. That's number one. And so when you spread that, those 4 to, like I'm a 4 meal a day guy.
Okay.
And I know how much protein I put in every meal. And then I add, my clean carbs with it.
Okay.
I get my fats. So that's, number one key. Number two is to, I'll probably get the order wrong, is to sleep, get 8 hours of sleep a day.
Okay.
Prioritize protein, organic food, that sort of
Yeah.
thing. Prioritize sleep. You get 8 hours. Number 3 is get daily movement
Okay.
in. I use the word movement because it's, you can walk, you can strength train.
Yeah.
I have the high energy grid. There's like 4 tools, and then there's 4 pillars on the side.
Okay.
So you got 4. There's 16 boxes. Each box has something that's going through the tools
Okay.
to enhance the pillars. Focus on gut health.
Gut health
is a key.
Okay.
Which is our metabolism. I mean, it's that too, but it's our it's the protection from germs.
Immune system.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Okay.
I was
You're welcome.
struggling for that word.
That's all right.
Seriously, you pulled me out of a jam.
I've had that all day long. What was I thinking?
Yeah, immune system, and then the other thing is to focus on brain health.
Okay. Brain health.
I didn't add brain health because it used to be a 3x4, and then I added brain health after I learned I was ADHD,
Okay.
and there's some protocol there, but it's not that complicated.
Yeah.
And like I was, there's a PhD doctor. He lives in Canada. His name is Michael Colgan, Colgan. And he's coached over 10,000 Olympic athletes as a nutrition coach.
Okay.
He's had hundreds of gold medalists that he coached nutrition.
Right.
He was, I think, don't quote me on this, but through the grapevine, I think he was Michael Phelps's nutrition coach at Michael Phelps's last Olympics.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Well, Michael Phelps was, eating 13,000 calories a day. I mean, he was
He was
swimming,
burning them off, yeah.
8-9 hours a day. So Michael Colgan is in our company of Isogenics.
Okay.
He was attracted in. He loved our food formulator, who is since deceased. And I was at this event with Michael Colgan. And he asked me and this other stud athlete who lives in Dallas, Texas, my good friend Shane Frills.
Okay.
He said, so you've got nutrition, you got exercise, and you got sleep. And he said, put a percentage how much it contributes to good health. And he says, so keep in mind, when you're done with those three, it has to equal 100%.
Okay.
So we got to thinking, Shane and I, and we said, maybe food is like 70% and like exercise is like 20% and sleep like 10.
Okay.
And he goes, nope. He said, 90% of your health is about what you put in your body.
Wow. 90%.
5% sleep, 5% movement.
Nutrition. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it is. Wow, I was a wow. And, you know, the more I got to studying that, I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
And so this tool that God gave us, I mean, it's just beautiful.
Oh, absolutely. It's beautiful.
I mean,
yeah.
You think about this, Tony, you don't have to think one bit and your heart beats.
That's right. That's right.
Who gave you that? Well, you know, because when you get a cut, it just heals.
Automatically does its thing.
I get a cold, it just heals. I mean, it's such a great tool. And when we can feed this beautiful vessel right, using God's natural foods that came out of the earth, whole food.
Yeah.
Even, you know, I like Isogenics, all of their I call them formulations, are from the earth. John Anderson, our food formulator, who's deceased now, was brilliant. Like one of the products that we have called ionic alfalfa, John, 20 years ago, 20 years before regenerative farming became popular, 20 years, he buys a huge tract of land in southern Utah. And if you've ever been to southern Utah, what color is the dirt mostly?
I've never been to Utah yet.
It's red.
It's red?
Yeah. I went to 2-year JC in southern Utah in St. George. It's just red.
Okay.
So John buys land that had never been farmed. He licensed to some farmers. So he grows a field of cover crops. He plants alfalfa. Alfalfa roots go 16 feet in the ground.
Wow.
They emit this liquid. It's not water. I mean, they're feeding it with water, but it emits this liquid. And so if this is the root and this is the soil, it emits this liquid and all of the minerals get sucked into that root up into the leaf of this alfalfa.
Okay.
So he was and no pesticides, herbicides, no commercial fertilizers, don't need to.
Nothing.
Got cover crops. It's drawing in rain automatically.
Yeah.
So when Isogenics harvests the alfalfa, within 1 hour it's frozen.
Okay.
So they're retaining as much of that natural plant. They take it back to the factory and strip minerals out.
Yeah.
So, you know, John was called the mineral man. So Isogenics, while it's a powder and it's a shake and it kind of looks processed, it's as whole food ever.
Okay.
So I have 1 or 2 of those shakes every day. I've had for, since 2006, 19 years, and in Whole Foods.
Wow.
Outside of that, I'm a big steak eater.
Really?
I love purple sweet potato.
Oh, man.
Purple sweet potato. I mean, so people could just eat right.
Right.
It's 90% of their health.
Yeah.
You'll naturally lose weight. Your body doesn't want to retain all that fat.
Yeah.
You could just start eating this protein. Your cravings go down. When I first started to do this protein timing method, I call it the fullness frequency method, because you're full.
Right.
It was on day 2 when I got to the second meal on day 2. I go, I got to eat again.
Wow.
I'm just not hungry.
Okay.
Seriously. So I was told you got to eat your protein.
Yeah.
Whatever gram you got to eat. And then I would just limit the greens and other things with it. I would just eat till I was full. And the weight, because I was, at my age, at our age, I carried around my
Yep,
midsection.
right there in the gut. Yep.
Yeah, I've got about 15 pounds I could lose
Yeah.
that I've gained since not racing for 10 years. I'll take that.
Yeah. It's better than what it was before.
I do a lot of strength training at my
Yeah.
age. And so when I started this fullness frequency method, on day 2, I ate the protein, but then the weight just started to creep off.
Yeah.
And I was like 25 pounds overweight.
Yeah.
And I dropped 10 pounds, and I wasn't even intermittent fasting
Really?
or anything. I just ate what my body needed when it was full. I mean, how simple is that?
Wow.
You don't have to count calories. It's easy to shop for, mostly easy to prepare
Yeah.
in advance.
Oh man. So this isogenics, is there a whole pack that you could do or something like that? Someone want to reach out to you. They just reach out to you and you get them this product and everything with the vitamins and all that, or?
Yeah. What I'm putting together, it's this digital marketing thing, and I'll have it, knock on wood, mid-October.
Okay.
So they just go on the website, they opt in, watch this live type video recording.
Yeah.
It's recorded, but it looks
Yeah.
live. And then they can, choose to buy, or they can choose to talk to me first, like on a Zoom.
Okay. Yeah.
And most people, I suspect 80% will probably not just buy because the trust level isn't high enough, but they'll reach out to me and I'll spend like 15, 20 minutes with them on a Zoom.
Oh, that's pretty smart. Yeah.
Answer all their questions. So everything is kind of tailored. And then, the other beauty of this with isogenics, thing I liked about it is, and I wasn't going to be a network marketer when I joined. I was like, no way.
Yeah.
Those guys are weird ducks
Yeah.
trying to sell me stuff. I don't think I've sold anybody anything. I just am like a teacher.
Okay.
And they can make their own decision. And that's what I started to do.
Yeah.
We had the 2009 economy. Do you remember how crappy that
Oof.
was?
Yes, I do.
We were in a recession, and I left CPA world, was an investment advisor. Man, it was awful.
Man.
So that's when I decided to use the isogenics compensation plan, and I just started to share with people.
Yeah.
And I've only enrolled in, I started that journey about 2010.
Yeah.
So I've enrolled in 15 years, about 250 people.
Oh, okay.
is
That's
all.
not bad. That's not
And
bad.
it's grown to 16,000 on my team
Oh, wow.
because other people do it. And see, that's the other beauty of this digital marketing. You don't have to learn how to sell.
Yeah.
If you could send people to opt into the thing,
Yeah.
and they opt in, they watch the video. At the very end of this, I say, get back to the person that sent you here to join.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. It's people, they're looking for extra income.
Oh,
that
absolutely. Everybody is.
that inflation we suffered from,
Yeah.
that 9% inflation, it was awful.
Horrible.
It affected so many
Oh,
families,
man.
mine
Oh,
too.
yeah. Everyone across the
Yeah.
board.
So if there's an extra, way they can earn an extra $500 a
Yeah.
month, pay for their product or whatever,
Yeah.
$6,000-$10,000 a year. It's like most of my distributors, that's what they earn.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a few that's earned way more, but not many.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of life, and think about it, it's all through health.
It's health. Yeah.
It's all
nutrition.
through nutrition. It's the same thing, and you just turn other people on to the same thing that works.
Yeah.
And that's really all I've ever done.
Oh, man.
Is to get people to to eat God's way.
There you go.
I mean, period. Realistically, that's it.
Yeah. Well, do me a favor real quick, because I'm listening to this. Tell me, what's your day routine? Let's say what your routine is from the moment you wake up, your exercise, the foods you put in, because I think that's fascinating to know that.
Okay. It's pretty rigid
Okay.
because of my ADHD.
Okay.
So, and I got I've developed these things using the knowledge from Dr. Andrew Uberman. He's a neuroscientist, former Navy SEAL. He's a PhD in brain stuff at the University of Stanford. So I start first thing in the morning. I go out and get sunlight.
Okay.
15 to 20 minutes, or I may first thing get up and get my running stuff on and go outside and run.
Okay. First thing in the morning.
Okay, so I'm in the sun. But the second part of my daily routine is to do a lot of movement for 2 minutes.
Okay.
Like getting going. I do sometimes jumping jacks, up and downs, some other things out in the sunshine.
Okay.
And then I usually go train. Right now I'm in a heavy strength training regiment, where I spend my exercise routine for legs is about maybe an hour and 20 minutes.
Okay.
And then arms is like 40 minutes.
Okay.
So I go to the gym and do both of those in one day. So I'm there for 2 hours.
Okay.
Come home and I'll have a protein meal, usually that shake. Okay. And then I go take a transition shower. It's not as good here in the summer because water comes out of the tap at 80 degrees, but so I get the hot and then the cold.
Okay, I gotcha. I've heard of those.
And it's been proven if you can get the water down to around 56 degrees, which we do have that in the winter here. So there's several months of the year I don't get the cold, but I have occasionally, not every day, I would do a ice bath. Okay. So, but for most people, if they don't live in the desert like I do, could get hot and then they get cold.
Right.
So you want to work up to that cold being at least a minute, but you want to work up to like 2 minutes. Okay. And then in the shower, I do 10 deep breathing exercises. So what the cold water does, it creates dopamine. We all need that. I need it worse than anybody else. The beauty with dopamine this away, especially cold water immersion, like the 35 degree stuff. And I go to a little facility here and I have I bought a 20 session package. And they clip my little thing or whatever they do to know that I have so many left. And I work my way up to, I can be immersed for the most I've ever done is 15 minutes. But the beauty of this is my baseline or my dopamine levels rise and they stay high for several hours.
After that.
And then when they drop, my baseline dopamine goes up.
Gotcha.
Where like if you had sugar or sex or cocaine, it spikes, but when it comes, it only lasts, you get a dopamine rise. That's what this hand means. But when it drops, your baseline goes down.
Gotcha.
But cold water immersion and exercise makes it last and it increases. So for sure, like I call it the dopamine drip, go exercise. Because you're creating dopamine. So I exercise as in that phase, come home, do the transition shower. Sometimes I'll do it at the gym. The gym water seems colder in the summer. And then, I do that breathing exercises. I then go to the, I've already eaten. I've done that before the shower. And then I start my day here on my computer and, I'm building this pretty extensive digital marketing thing right now. It's, my mentor is Russell Brunson. Personally, he lives in Boise. My son just bought a big piece of land in Boise. My son's a pilot, so someday I may live there. And so I then, because usually I'm eating at 8 a.m.-ish, somewhere in there from my day. And then I'll eat 4 times. So I'll go from 8 a.m. I'll usually eat at 11 between 11 and 12.
Okay.
I'm eating again at 3, almost always at 3.
Okay.
And then at 6 p.m. because I want to eat 3 hours before I go to bed.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I'm the sunlight I get in the morning is actually for sleep at night
Okay.
because I'm resetting my circadian sleep rhythms. I'm supporting that. And the reason I don't eat 3 hours before bed is I'm getting my brain to know that it's sleep time.
Okay.
And then 1 hour before bed, I quit scrolling my phone.
Okay.
Before I went on Adderall, I have a small dose of Adderall. I would be awful
Okay.
at this is my dopamine hit.
Yeah, I do that sometimes too.
I'll
Yeah.
be the first to admit.
Yeah.
And when I went to Adderall, it dropped 50%.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
so 1 hour before bed, I stop. I lower the lights. I don't watch television or scroll or read in bed.
Okay.
Bed is for 2 things: sleep. Do you know what the second one is?
I think so.
I think I could say
Yeah, you
sex.
can.
And I have this big chair outside of my bed that if I'm going to watch TV,
Yeah.
I'll do that there.
Okay.
Or read. I'll do it in that chair. And then when I get sleepy, then I go to bed.
Yeah, that's pretty smart. Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, and then because I have a overactive bladder, at least we think it's that. Although let's suffice it to say that about every 90 minutes to 2 hours, I have to urinate in the middle of the night.
Okay.
So I've had to teach myself to get back to sleep fast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm if I get 7.5 hours, I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
If I get 6 or less, I'm a zombie the next
Oh,
day.
really? Okay.
It affects me that bad. Yeah,
wow.
it's marketably, I'm not as good. So I have to have lights out. Like I try to be asleep by 9 p.m.
Okay.
It's been proven sleep between 9 p.m. and midnight is 2 times more effective than sleep you get after midnight.
Okay.
I don't know the science behind that. I just know that that's what the scientists say.
Gotcha.
And I usually get up at 6 a.m. So that's like 9 hours.
Yeah.
But I only get 8 in 9 hours because of my, nighttime urination little issue.
Gotcha. So
Yeah.
you're up every day by 6 o'clock.
Yeah. I usually, because I'm so light driven, usually I'm starting to get drowsy and it's the sunrise.
Oh, okay.
I'm starting to wake up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
We were in Utah and it didn't get dark there till like 9 p.m. this time of year. And that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
It gets a little darker here sooner. But the winter, it's easy because, we don't have as much, sunshine
Right.
I sleep better in the winter. I sleep when it's better when it's cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sleep is the bomb. I mean, for me, it's like that. It's like Dr. Kogan said, it was 5%. It's higher for me.
Okay.
I just don't do good if I don't sleep.
Yeah. And I know some people like that. If they don't sleep 8 hours, they're zombie. They're zonked all day. You can't even understand half the things they're saying. It's crazy.
And I can't nap. When I was a kid, I could nap during the middle of the day. I cannot nap during the day. My mind is like
always gone. Yeah, same here, man.
Oh, I just haven't learned how, I guess.
Yeah, I know when we were kids, we hated it. Now it's like, I wish I could nap now. It's like, oh, geez, I could use a nap every now and then. Well, let me ask you this last question here. What do you suggest somebody, because you have a lot of information, a lot of things that you've done that helped your lifestyle. What would you suggest someone who's, I won't say older, just put it like this, anyone that's trying to start a healthier lifestyle? What should be their first step? What would you suggest?
This may sound weird, but the first step is to make a decision to do it.
Okay. That doesn't sound weird at all. Yeah.
Yeah. And a decision with action.
Gotcha.
There's one thing to say, oh, I got to go do that. And they never do it.
Yeah.
Then they're not making a decision. They're making a choice, stay where they're
True.
at.
Very true.
So when they make a choice that I'm going to do this to get into action, whatever it is, it could go to the gym. It could be, I'm going to give up sweets, whatever. You start getting into action. The other thing too is, and it's sad that I even have to say this for most people, but because food is so important, they better get educated on what's going in their body. And so I always like that's part of this, the high energy grid I'm putting together. Anybody that, joins me with Isogenics, they get that for free. And I would sell it without Isogenics for $1,600 bucks. Wow. It's that valuable.
Okay.
But anybody that joins me, they get like $8,000 or $9,000 worth of stuff for only $800 bucks.
Okay.
And I am really big on, like, for somebody like you just mentioned, it's one thing for me to tell you what to do, but when I used to do that, just follow the instructions here, do this, compliance wasn't as good.
Okay.
You would see people like, oh, Mike, I went out and cheated this week. I've heard about cheat days. And, oh, you mean I'm not supposed to have coffee at 4 p.m.? Things like that. And so when I started to educate people, and that's what the grid does. When people know why they need to do something, why they need to eat a certain food, why they need to eat a lectin-free diet, why they need to put fish oil for their brain, why they need to do certain things for their gut health. When they know that and they see it and visualize, then they're more likely to comply.
Okay. Yeah.
Because, the whole thing is energy.
Yeah.
If you do a Google search, the number one health topic that people are searching for is more energy.
Okay. Yeah.
75% of all adult Americans consume an energy drink.
Yeah. I see that. I can believe that.
Because they think that's where I'm going to get it from. But that's not in all cases where you should get energy from. Because it laced with sugar, preservatives, all that, kind of garbage in there. So I just think if somebody, they're ready, make the decision, get into action, and get into some education about your food you're going to put in your body. And absent any education, then I say eat protein 4 times a day, same amount. And add like green leafy, add whole foods to that. Oh, but I got to eat fast food. No. So if they just ate the perimeter of the grocery store, and that's like the best education you could absolutely follow. But seriously, it's paying attention. It's learn how to read food labels. It's all of that, because like I say, unfortunately in our society, food's tainted.
Oh, it is.
You better be educated or you're going to be like, there was another study done earlier this year. This will blow you away, Tony. It did me. They tested the brains of a bunch of cadavers who had just passed. The average amount of microplastics in those brains could create a credit card.
Wow.
You think about all of those brain circuits getting interrupted because of plastics. There's a woman I'm helping. She lives in California. Her son, he was born healthy, got these vaccinations, autism. He's high on the autism spectrum. By these vaccinations. And she only got them because her husband said, no, we got to get them because of my job and all that. And she didn't want to, but she did.
She had to do a good job.
And it created autism in her son. I mean, I think she's gotten over the guilt of that, but she's angry.
Well,
at government.
I bet she is.
And so like these plastics and things, this is why if you want to get healthy, you got to eat right, and you got to get rid of all that crud. Eat organic as much as you can. You just have to.
Yeah.
Because of all of the impurities that are in the air, the water we drink, the food we put in our bodies. I would never eat fast food ever. You'll never get me to eat fast food ever again the rest of my life.
I can believe it, man. I can believe it. Wow.
Yeah. So, but the key is, if somebody makes a decision, just get into action. That's like the best, movement forward.
Okay.
You know that from being an athlete. You just know. You can't do jack if you just sit still.
Good point. Very good point.
You want to get an interception, you got to go get it. You want to do a naked chokehold or whatever you do, you got to go get it. Action. If I want to go make a basket, I got to go move.
Yeah.
Action is King Kong. And there's other things along the way I highly support, but that's what I would tell anybody just getting started.
Okay.
Make a decision and get into action and eat whole foods.
I like that. Those are the best three. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's simple, and just eating whole foods is solve in this country 50% or more of the problems.
That's true.
I'm serious about that. I mean, JFK, that's what he said.
He's trying to turn everything around, and that's really good.
Dr. Mark Hyman, you have Paul Salandino, you have Callie Mean, you have all these people who know. And I follow all of them on Instagram. In fact, the Instagram reel I did today, I just took Dr. Hyman did a little post, and I just made it into a reel. It's had 1,100 views. That's not one of the better ones.
Still already, that's really good.
Yeah, but it's education.
And I think people are craving education. Really are. They about nutrition,
really are.
and that's the new wealth now.
211,000 followers. They're looking at something I'm doing.
You must be doing something right. That's how I look at it.
I don't know if it's right or not. I mean, I'm just I want to serve. I want to serve who I'm serving. And it's not about me. Years ago, before I learned these marketing, it was all about me. I'm going to make me the brand.
Yeah.
I mean, I did 6,000 posts and gained 1,900 followers.
Yeah.
So since then, I've done 3,000 posts and gained 209,000 followers.
Wow.
Because I made it about them.
Yeah, take the eye off yourself. That's pretty good. I need to learn that for my growth. That's for sure, man.
Well, you reach out to me. We'll do a Zoom, and I'll teach you some things.
Hey, I'm going to hold you to that because I really need some new things to do.
I would be glad to help you. You're my new friend, so that's what I do.
I appreciate you, brother. I really do. But before we get you out of here, man, because I know you got things to do out there, tell us where we can find you. Tell everybody all your handles, where they can find you. Put all that out.
Well, go to Instagram's the easiest place, and it's Michael.C.Lantz, Lantz.
Okay.
On Facebook, it's facebook.com/Mike Lantz, MikeLantz.
Okay.
Then my website is michaelclantz.com.
Okay, and they can reach you on all those different platforms and get everything they need from you.
Yeah. If they're on Instagram or Facebook, just inbox me, and if you got questions and things like that, I don't get as much as I got when I was really ramping up these numbers. When the algorithm has changed even in the 2 years or so that I've been on Instagram doing this. I used to get 20 inbox messages a day. Oh, wow. And now that I've digitized a lot of stuff, people like on a reel just, type in a comment, and then, it's all computerized. I'm sending them somewhere. Yeah. And, but I get like 10 a week, people asking me questions, and I answer them.
That's pretty good.
Somebody says, "Is that your sister?" I go, "No, it's me." Really, you? I go, "I'm a business of one. I don't have secretaries. I stay home to take care of my wife,
Yeah.
and we're in this little tiny home, and I'm a business of one." Well, I when I can generate some more activity and income, I'll probably hire a virtual assistant.
Yeah.
But
That's down the road soon.
yeah,
Let's
I
go.
answer everything. I find that joyful.
That's cool you do that. Because a lot of these companies, they have somebody else answering people. You know, you don't know if it's the real person. It's cool that you're the real person. Michael, I tell you, this has been informative. Wait, take a look. This has been informative. Those are all my notes.
Woo, look at you, man.
All the notes I'm jotting down, man. You're awesome, brother.
You're gonna be doing an Ironman. I want to do at least one more in my life, and you're gonna do it with me.
You know what? I would normally say no to that, but what the stuff you're saying and all this isogenics, I don't know. I might. I can see it happening, brother.
Why not?
Good point. Why not?
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, I have to work harder.
That you finish in 16 hours and 59 minutes, and you cross the finish line, and they go, "Tony Jones, you are an Ironman,"
instead of a flabby man. Oh man,
I've been there.
That's right.
I've been called. Or well,
there
man.
you go. Oh, Michael, this has been a joyous time for me. I tell you, I appreciate you more than you know, brother. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to sit down with us, and we'll do this again. Definitely, we'll do this again, my friend.
Let's do it. And to all your listeners, you know, I love all of you, and get healthy. Make the decision for not only yourself, but your family.
I like that. I like that. With that, we're going to run on that because that's perfect. Okay. All right, brother. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon. Take care, brother.
Oh, man.